Hey everyone, Mike here. Ben and I recently received the Into the Dark Kill Team box from Games Workshop, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get this terrain on the table as quick as possible. So one thing I've learned is that if you ever want to use your terrain, you can't treat it like a work of art. There's nothing wrong with starting off with the bare minimum. To start this process off, I'm going to spray the whole thing with a black primer. It's terrain, so go with something cheap if you want to. Then after 10 minutes, I'm going to use a silver primer, but this time I'm only going to spray it from above and at a 45-degree angle. Once that's done, it now looks like metal, but everything has some nice shadows on the underside. Now if you're not a fan of painting terrain, or you're in a hurry to finish, you can just varnish this and call it done. Or you can varnish it and then come back to it at a later date. If you have the time and inclination, you can make it look a little less boring with a few easy steps. I'm going to add a handful of colors, all with contrast paints, starting with Doomfire Magenta. I haven't tried any of these new contrast paints over metallics, so this will be an interesting experiment. The magenta goes on really nice. Now I'm not looking to paint every part of this terrain. The only thing I want to do is add some random patches of color to break things up. Now I'm adding some striking scorpion green, and this one is pretty great too. Next I'm trying some Plaguebearer Flesh, and I don't know if this is one of the older contrast paints, but it's not going on as smooth or as opaque as the other ones, but maybe it isn't meant to be. That's okay, I'm just painting terrain, so it's alright to be a little bit messy. So this is how this piece is looking after one layer of 3 different colors, and this is done as far as I'm concerned. Building and painting an entire set of Games Workshop terrain can be pretty daunting. You usually get a ton of stuff in the box, and the Into the Dark Kill Team is no exception. There's also so much detail that you could spend a lot of time painting if you wanted to paint every little thing. One thing I love to do with contrast paints is to mix them with metallic colors that are the same shade. The effect is that you keep the metallic sheen, and the paint flows really well. The colors I most often mix together are a brown contrast paint with a bronze metallic, or a black contrast paint with a silver metallic. These two combos seem to have the best results. Metallic paints are often quite thick, and mixing in water just seems to ruin them. Now at this point I'm just playing around. I'm picking one feature of the entire terrain set and painting it all the same color on every piece of terrain, just to make it all seem like it belongs together. So all the wires are getting painted with a magenta, the beat up pipes are getting a dark brown, random embellishments are getting a gold color, all with a single layer of a contrast paint. As with all GW terrain, there's skulls everywhere. A fast way to paint them is to give them all a wash with a dark brown contrast paint, and then follow that up with a tan colored dry brush. Then follow that up with a very light dry brush with an ivory color to make all the facial features pop. If you have an airbrush, that gives you a ton of other ways to add life to your terrain, though what I'm about to do can also be done with dry brushing. I'm going to paint the lights to try to give the impression that they're turned on with 3 layers of color. First I'm painting a large halo around each light with a bright orange, though this could be bright green, blue, pink, whatever you want. Then I'm trying to hit the light directly with a pure white. I haven't deep cleaned my airbrush in a month, so it's being super finicky right now. Last, I'm going to follow that up with a very bright color that matches my halo color, so Bad Moon Yellow in this case. So I can stop this at any point, varnish it, and then come back to it. Some of my terrain has just a zenithal prime and 1 layer of a wash. Basic, but functional. But if you're really enjoying using a particular terrain set, you can put an hour in here or there and spice it up. Add some grime, add some rust or dirt. Just don't let it sit in the box because you have this grand paint scheme planned that you just know is going to take forever and it's stopping you from even getting started. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting, and thanks for watching.